Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your ever-loving host, Shorty, and today is Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day, and that means I'm going to be reviewing something. And what am I going to be reviewing? It's Suicide Squad King Shark. Now, straight away, has to be said, this feels just so much like a cash-in thing. I knew they're doing it. It was part of the free Comic Book Day thing. And while there is no way to be 100% sure that Suicide Squad movie was going to be as successful as it was and as loved as it was, certainly not that King Shark was going to be the standout thing that everyone wanted. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me being cynical, looking at the timing of it and realizing that they've just done a 6-issue miniseries because they don't really think it has the legs to carry on going forever. Basically, they are just capitalizing on the short-term interests because of the movie. Could be. Who knows? Certainly not me. I'm not in charge of any kind of such thing at DC Comics or any comic book publishers for that matter. What I do is just read things and tell you about them. So, Suicide Squad King Shark. It's a story where the writing and the world are going to do most of the heavy lifting. That's not to say the artwork isn't good. There are moments where it's genuinely great fun. There's a fight between King Shark and Orca, which is brilliant. There's a moment where King Shark just literally eats some random supervillain called Hot Take, which is just about as gory as I'd have liked. Surprises. I mean, what you see is the aftermath, and you have some off-screen onomatopoeic sound effects coming in. But this is age 13 plus. Sorry, you might not get that in focus there. This is not a mature title comic book. So Suicide Squad and then King Shark and literally murdering people to death. It feels like maybe it was a bit of a long shot that it was going to land all this kind of stuff effectively. But they managed to, by keeping it just like off focus, off screen, off panel, it's okay. You know exactly what's going on. There is no mistake whatsoever. He is literally devouring a superpowered human being in a female toilet. It's gross and horrible and thoroughly inappropriate for children, but you don't see anything. So they kind of get away with it, and I can't really complain about that. They are playing quite nicely within the, it's not comics codes, it's like they basically police themselves and this kind of thing, but they do it well enough that there's no real complaints. But other than those few moments, the artwork is kind of low-grade, scratchy, and not particularly inventive. There's a bit early on, and I really liked this first page when I saw it. It is basically one of Dick Grayson's ex-girlfriends painting a sexually explicit thing on his statue to embarrass him to the Bloodhaven police. Even more effective, you might not know this, but Dick Grayson used to be a member of the Bloodhaven police force. So very, very effective kind of thing. But the leg she sat on is going forward. You can tell from the other one is going backwards. Yes, you can see Dick Grayson's butt. Try not to get hung up on it. So that is forward. That is basically moving away from us. The arm that she is on our side of is coming towards us because of the way his hips are turned, and you can see one arm is going forward, the other is going back. That is Escheron levels of weirdness, and I don't think it was done on purpose. I think that was a mistake, and unfortunately, once I noticed it, couldn't stop thinking about other such things. Little issues with foreshortening and perspective didn't quite land right. People sitting down on chairs, never 100% exactly human looking, which is a shame. But as I said before, this is more about the characters and the writing, and cannot complain about any of those. Tim Seeley puts brilliant voices in people. Even the character Hot Take, who dies very early on, is interesting enough the few times she speaks. But what you're mainly here for is the Defacer, who is pretty much our, like, as a human observer. It's our, avatar within the comic book. She's interesting enough. She's could be one note. She could just be somebody who was wronged by a man, that man being Dick Grayson. But she adds a bit more to it than that. She had other problems with anger control and such things before she was ever a boyfriend or a girlfriend or ex-girlfriend. And the other main character is obviously the shark himself. And you do get, weirdly, like little bits of extra background about the character, stuff I didn't know as a casual reader of Suicide Squad kind of things. You get a bit of a family background. The fact that King Shark isn't just a nickname. I didn't know that. And you meet his dad, who's a giant tattooed shark the size of, in the words of the Defacer, the size of a country. And you get this a lot of background on the various different things happen in the elemental regions, like the green, or in this case the red. The various people who are apparently coming together as avataristic representations of their species or genus to fight for domination of the red. And that seems to be like the main crux of the plot. I mean, it takes a while to get there, but when it does, it's very entertaining. And you get this excellent little single page in there. Nice little character designs, but I'm just going to draw your attention to Badger in a top hat. I mean, if I wasn't totally on board before Badger in a top hat, I'm good. 5 stars. No further comment. I'll be back tomorrow for another review. Until then, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe.